Graph y equals tangent of x. Alright, so we have a few steps that we're going to follow when we graph our tangent functions. First thing we're going to do is plot our x-intercept. Now, as long as we're not shifting this graph around, our x-intercept is going to be right here at x equals 0. So we have first one done. Second thing we want to do is find our vertical asymptotes. So if we remember, there are certain spots where the tangent function is not defined, and we put vertical lines in those places. So how we find the vertical asymptote is we are going to do pi over 2b. Now pi over 2b, our b value is whatever's in front of the x, which in this case is just a 1. So pi over 2 is where our first asymptote is going to be. So then I go to the graph and I find pi over 2. It's halfway between 0 and pi. I'm just going to draw a solid line that's easier for me to see. There's pi over 2. Now, the asymptotes are going to fall on odd multiples of this pi over 2. So I can come over here to a negative pi over 2, and I know that the first cycle is going to fit in there. Now the next thing we do is our halfway points, and that's what we use our a value for. Our a value is whatever's in front of the tangent, which is just a 1. And we're going to do positive and negative 1 at our halfway points. So what I do is I go to the graph and I find the intercept and the asymptote over here on the left. I'm going to go halfway between those, and then I'm going to go down to a negative 1. So you go halfway and then you go to a negative a value. Now I'm going to go back to the intercept. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to go halfway between the intercept and this asymptote on the right, and I'm going to go up to a positive 1. And that kind of guides me for what this graph is going to look like. I'm not going to cross the asymptote. I just kind of hug it, and then I come in, go through my points, and then go back down there. And there is one cycle of my tangent graph. Now I can keep going and do some more cycles. I can see that they have a period of pi. So if I just go over pi, 4 more sections on this graph, I know that I can fit a cycle in here. The intercept is going to be in the middle of that. And then those halfway points, I go halfway to the left and down 1, halfway to the right and up 1, those a values. And then I can draw in another cycle. So there we have 2 cycles of our tangent graph. And remember, those asymptotes fall where our tangent is undefined. And so those are really important. We have to remember to do that.